You gave example of pen. When we say pen, we immediately think of pen's form. How do we do the same for Nama Prabhu? No, you don't have to think. That is why. Automatically one day, Nama's identity will manifest in our consciousness. Because in that Shabda, Nama Prabhu's concept that he is a supreme Nama of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is there. If you ask the Nama, who are you? Nama will reply, I am the name of the Supreme Lord Krishna. He will reply. That is his identity. So, that his identity will manifest. He is the sweet name of the Lord. And the name of the Lord is very dear to the Lord. And these are all very absolute things. Huh? Krishna likes his name. Huh? He is in love with his name. Krishna is in love with his name. So if we are in love with his name, Krishna will be in love with us. Krishna is in love with his name. In concurrent chanting and hearing with attention, Kriya and Jnana Cheshta and attention belong to the soul. Then what is the mind exactly doing? Mind is a transporter of these energies. In the material world, we act through the mind and the senses. So where is the Nama? Nama is manifest outside on my tongue. So how do I connect from my soul up to the Nama? Is through the mechanism of mind and body. So this mind and body transports my chesta. That is why body also just does chesta. Gross chesta, subtle chesta, Atma chesta. Okay. So my Atma chesta is pushing Sukshma chesta. Sukshma chesta is pushing the Jada chesta, my senses. Doing and knowing is transported there. The energies. Mind is a transporter of everything. Mind is practically, it's like acting like a soul only in this material world. Means everything. It will transport desire. It will transport free will. It will transport wherever you want. It will transport. How important tasking is. Simply chanting and hearing is not japa. That is Shravanaman Kirtanam, isolated. One Shravanaman Kirtanam, another Shravanaman Kirtanam, another Shravanaman Kirtanam. Okay, whole day you got 24 hours. Every hour, every half an hour you do, half a mala. So tasking means it's not that. It's not same as separate 108 into 16 chantings. Tasking means one chanting come hearing builds up on the other chanting come hearing. Then that builds up on the previous two chanting and hearing. Previous two. Just like you put iron in a fire, it gets heated. Let's say it goes X temperature, X plus 1 degree. Next what happens? X plus 2 degrees, it builds up. X plus 3 degrees, X plus 4 degrees, then red hot. The same way, by continuous uninterrupted association is a very big secret of high quality japa that if you want, and high quality experience if you want, it has to be uninterrupted japa. But what to do when suddenly some disturbances are there? Depends on different degrees of disturbances. The pulling power of the mind is different for different kinds. A small problem, it will pull. Yeah, okay, forget it. You'll talk yourself out of it. Whenever you start your japa, how you should start your japa? Any day, any session. First you should decide, I am going to chant 4 rounds now or 8 rounds or 16 rounds I am going to do. You should decide. That is sadhya. What do you want to achieve in this sitting? I want to achieve that. Very important in japa. It is not simply, I sit and I chant and as much as I can chant. No. In this sitting, how many rounds I am going to do? If you're doubtful about 8, you say 4. And then after 4 again, you take a determination of fix a target of 4 more rounds. That is all right. But without telling your mind before japa, I am going to do this much, you are not giving enough traction to your tasking. Tasking becomes very powerful when you have that goal in your mind. 4 rounds or 8 rounds or whatever it may be, goal has to be there. That day's goal, that particular situation's goal. We all have a goal every day, 16 rounds. Now in this one sitting, how much I am going to do? Okay. So that is number 1. You should fix, whenever you start your japa, doesn't matter, even now or even when you are very advanced in your japa also. This is a common thing. Because your mind has to be dealt with. So you decide that I will do 4 rounds or I am going to do 16 rounds in one stretch. This is my japa time, I will finish. Suppose I and you want to talk in this room. So many people are talking, big noise. You get irritated, no? Arey, allow us to talk, no, please maintain silence, you will tell. All thinking is like a noise for japa. Understand these concepts. During japa, thinking is a noise. What is the result of noise? Whom you want to hear, you cannot hear. Whom do you want to hear? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You want to hear him. That is why Prabhupada said, what is the diamond quote? See the technology behind diamond quote. Diamond quote says that when the mind goes away, don't worry about the gone mind. Immediately again fix your mind on the nama. Your goal is not to bring back the mind. Give fresh chesta for the next mantra that is coming. Forget about gone mantra, gone mind, gone. I did not attend, I did not eat that. It fell outside. Just like a baby, 2-year-old baby, if you ask to eat, it will eat and they will find all rice all over everywhere. It won't know how to put everything in the mouth. Something and all will fall outside. Our japa is like that. Worse than the babies. Some people's japa is almost everything is outside only. Nothing goes inside the mouth. So this continuous chat is going on. Stop all that chat. It's a noise. It's a noise that disturbs my hearing of the holy name of the Lord. I mean, will I hear that? That means when you are thinking, it means you are hearing your thoughts. Because you cannot think without knowing your thoughts. No, processing means knowing, doing and knowing. So there also you are knowing your thoughts. That means knowing is engaged. So you're thinking, imagine, one hand you have got the omnipotent nama on your tongue. The other hand you have got some thoughts. Either you can do and know the thoughts or you can do and know the omnipotent sound. How foolish it is to leave the nama and go for anything else. That foolish it is. This omnipotent sound is a live, supreme personality of God and is the shelter of everything. He is my protector, he is the eternal carer. What he wants, all problems he can solve and everything, every solution to all problems is supreme shelter of everything. Everything is, instead of there, you are going and, okay, you are using your thoughts, your intelligence to solve your problem. So foolish. Every sound I should do and know, I should catch the association of the Nama Avatara without indulging in thinking. So this noise, that is why to stop this noise, only this diamond quote, loudly you chant, then it will deafen the noise. Let's say so many people are talking in this room, then me and you have to talk. The only solution is first what? You tell them to silence. If they don't, you start talking loudly. And that is the diamond port. Creative ideation. This is another thing. Because you are chanting, while you are chanting, you get very good ideas. Or you are already doing, you are having today, I have to do this, means some creative ideas come. New ideas come. How to do this service for Krishna, how to do that, how to do that. All this I am telling, even if it is connected to Krishna, you should not do it. Only one connection is hearing. That we have already proved with several quotes I have already shown you. Including Prabhupada says, no, shall we think of Krishna's pastime when I am chanting? Well, no, don't do it. Simply hear. When Krishna is thinking of Krishna's pastime itself, Prabhupada is saying no, then how is it bona fide? How is it good for us to think about preaching aspects and preaching problem solving, preaching anchoring, preaching lamentation, preaching plan making during Japa? Definitely not. You lose your hearing. Creative ideation, same thing. New ideas, accepting ideas, rejecting ideas. No, this is not good, that is not good, this is good, that is good. Oh, this is very good, very good. Then again you analyze. No, it's not so good. That was better. This was better. Creative ideation. That is also a kind of a thinking. Then you are worrying. Worrying is about worrying about some consequences in the future. Lamentation is about negative thinking about the past. Worrying is about negative thinking about the future. What will happen? Whatever may happen in 2 hours, what is going to happen in my 2 hours of my Japa? I give my full time to the Lord. Afterward, this Lord will be with me to handle with this worry. I will not worry during Japa. When Lord is with me, at least that time I should not worry, no? So don't worry about, these are all natural. Our mind is engaged in all these kind of things. Then next kind of thing I have written is daydreaming. What is daydreaming? Daydreaming is exactly like you have a television, you have your remote, go on flipping the channels. That will keep you very busy. Go on flipping the channels. Aimlessly trying to find an aim. What should I do? So, in the same way, daydreaming, simply dreaming on so many desirable things. How will that be? How will this be? How can that be? Like that, daydreaming. So nice it would be. If my son gets a job here, it will be so nice. After that, you get married, it will be so nice. This, that. Hundreds of things you can think of. We always do this daydreaming. A dirty mind will not leave us. When you want to go to Krishna and be with him for 2 hours, this mind will not leave us. They'll bring problems to you, they'll bring plan making to you, they'll bring hankering, they'll bring lamentation, they'll do creative ideas, they'll do daydreaming, they'll bring you worries. Just to, no, give me attention. Come away from Krishna. Then there is rasaying. This is a word I have coined, rasaying. That means you are dreaming about enjoyment of future situation and rasa, or even past also. You're recalling, how nice it was. How nice it was. Pilgrimage it went. It was so nice. Like that. This is rasaya. God Himself, this supreme object of all rasa, is before you, and you are going rasaing something else. Why don't you do direct rasaing of Krishna? Krishna rasa is before you in the nama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You are leaving that, and then you are going for other rasas. Or you are thinking, this will help me, that will help me, this will protect me. When Krishna is before you, this is the highest protection. He is the highest protector. Nobody can protect you like Krishna. Nobody can give you rasa like Krishna. So like this, different kinds of thinking activity is considered to be like a thinking noise. Another thing I will tell you, what happens when you chant free from the noise, you will really hear the holy name clearly. Prabhupada, remember Krishna's instruction, Prabhupada's instruction? Hear clearly. When you hear clearly, just let's say I say pen. As soon as I say pen sound, in my mind the concept of pen is also there. Not only sound I am hearing, concept of pen is there. That is due to training, learning. But in the case of Nama, the concept of the pen is a pen, like that. The concept of Krishna, the sound is concept of Krishna. Sound is Krishna. Sound is identity of Krishna. Immediately you feel the presence of the Lord. Presence of the Lord is felt as His identity. Just like you see, just to give you an example, if me and you are in the room, and a third person is sitting in one corner, through the window he is looking through, and you are aware that he is watching you. You become aware of his identity, no? He is watching you, he is watching you, he is watching you, though you are talking. Is it not? That means you are remembering that. Exactly in the same way, feeling the presence of Nama will happen actually from the Shabda. Shabda is equal to Nama's identity, the Vyakti. Then that becomes Nama Smaran. That's an advance. When you are able to keep your mind free from all thinking exclusively for your Lord, mala after mala after mala, when you are able to do, this Nama Shabda will reveal its identity as a feeling of the presence. When you feel presence of a person, it's different. Concepting, thinking that God is present, that is by Shraddha. Applied Shraddha. You will be able to apply your Shraddha with the realization of His presence. So that is so many. The ocean, the taste of Japa, if you do it properly, is an ocean of taste. Okay. So let's do our Japa today. So that I call it as subtle hearing. Gross hearing, what is it? Sound you hear. Then the concept of that sound is subtle hearing. So as you are saying Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Each of these sounds are names of persons, no? So their identity is there. Their identity, you will feel their identity. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Or at least identity of the whole Nama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. As I said, the identity of the Nama you can consider as pleasing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the identity of this Nama as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So if there is one person you want to think of who is pleased when I do Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, who is pleased with that, that is the personality of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Bead after bead. Each bead you are pleasing. Personification of Hare Krishna Mahamantra is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You're pleasing him, you're pleasing him, you're pleasing next, like that. So, different kinds of chatting by the mind, intelligence slice to intelligence slice, mind slice to mind slice. Mind slice means mind is comparing, this feeling is good or that feeling is good. Intelligence means this solution is intelligible or that solution. Between the two, intelligence lies discussion. Finally, they come to a conclusion, and mind also come to a conclusion, and the mind and intelligence talks together. And finally, ultimately, whatever the intelligence is able to convince the mind only. Mind is the final doer. Intelligence has to convince. Just like if you have a desire for sense gratification, it comes. Then the mind naturally feels good. Now the intelligence says, no. Wait. This is feel good now, but later on it is not feel good. You have to pay through your nose for it. Okay? Then the intelligence tell the mind that, look, remember the feel bad that follows this feel good. Now the mind, what does it do? Between these two, it will make a choice. No. Shreyas and prayers. Yes, I will not indulge in this sense gratification because it is going to be problematic for my spiritual life long term. I will not do it. So I better to maintain my feel good long term than my short term feel good. But mind ultimately decides everything by feeling. Intelligence decides everything by intelligence. Okay. Then another thing that disturbs us is hankering and lamenting. Suppose something happened, lost or something, then your mind is always lamenting. Oh, chale gaya, what happened? You are doing Japa. Continuously mind is going there. Why should not have done this? I do not know why I did it, and all those things. Then gone, your prana, your attention is gone there from the Nama. Nama needs your prana. Or hankering after something. Hankering is not so difficult to stop as hankering is also difficult, but not as stop. Pain is more difficult than pleasure. Pleasure you can give up, but thinking about pain is very difficult to give up. Is it not? Pain in this world is more powerful than pleasure. Pleasure okay, मिला नहीं मिला तो चलेगा. Pain नहीं चाहिए. I don't want pain. So this lamentation and hankering, how do you handle lamentation? Just surrender to the Lord. He is a Lord of everything. He is a Lord of, He is the intelligence of all intelligence. What am I going to now think about that lamentation? I am going to lament and I am going to solve the problem. The best way to solve the problem is to be with Krishna. Whatever happens, that is the best thing to do with it. What is the use of me going there and lamenting? Gone is gone, past is gone. Its consequences may be there today. The consequences of that I am better handled with Krishna with me. Let me do my japa. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I am not going to lament. See, this session is very important. Very practical session. Just by learning concurrent chanting come hearing, it is a basic. Then there is a force of thoughts which will try to disconnect us. As long as you are connected, there is energy and we will go on. So when you are in that, to get connected is a problem. Now we are all talking. I am completely focusing about the first round. Please understand. Second round onwards, you don't have a problem because you are locked already and the energy has started flowing in. Your chesta and anchor, chesta and your attention, chitta, is completely anchored to the Nama. Because of the Nama Ruchi, it will not go anywhere after it is anchored. But the problem is the first round where you have to anchor. Anchoring in lamentation. Anchoring also. You are thinking, I should. Just like, somebody told me that I should buy this property, it's going very cheap. Okay, if it's when 10 o'clock after everything happens, you deal with it, no. But your mind is going there. I should meet him 10 o'clock, I should negotiate, I should get hankering, I should negotiate, I should get this price, I should get at least, 20 few lakhs less than what he is saying. And all this your japa is going on, it becomes mechanical japa. And your mind is engaged in hankering. Hankering means something desirable, thinking about something desirable. Lamentation means thinking something that is undesirable, which is lost. Crying over the spilt milk. Milk is anyway spilt. Why are you crying over it? You cannot get back the milk. First, problem solving. Accepting and rejecting probable solution to a problem. Going on, proposals. Intelligence gives new proposals. Mind is not happy in terms of the feeling assessment of it. And then it gives back to the intelligence. Intelligence again does thinking and then gives another solution. Then again mind is happy if it thinks it's a good feel good solution. Okay, we'll accept it. Mind's criterion is feeling. It accepts and rejects based on feeling. But to convince the mind that you get a good feeling or this is the best feeling, that is job of intelligence. So when I am chanting, suppose I have today a problem. Some problem. Financial problem. Then you start your japa. Then your mind is trying to solve the problem. Where will I get the money? What will I do? Shall I borrow from here? Shall I borrow from there? It is going into a financial problem. It is a problem solving. Now you have learned how to do chanting come hearing, mindful japa. That is okay. Because you have done chantful, you start your japa, but it so happens that your problem is so severe that even the first bead you are not able to lock your attention together. Then what happens? You are not able to do mindful japa. First few also you are not able to lock. Why? Because the train of thoughts are continuing. Your problem, financial problems, continue. How will I do? It's a pressing need. It's a pressing need. Not that it is a pressing need in the next 2 hours japa time. That I will explain to you. You should actually stop everything and only do. Your financial problem also will get the best treatment if you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra during that time. If you have faith in Krishna and then I am doing now, whatever it may be, and that now my time is for Krishna, and you chant, then that is the best. So for that, what you have to do, how to take off. So to take off in these kind of situations, when you have got due to guna, kala and karma, see, the scientists have also found out, psychologists have found out, more than 130 to 160 thoughts come up into our mind every minute. Which means, this is what our Shastra also says. According to guna, kala, karma, the forces of kala is bringing up different thoughts in your mind according to your past karma. You cannot keep quiet even one moment. It keeps coming up. So when those things come up, let's say, as I said, financial problem. So guna, kala, karma, a forceful thinking is coming. You have a pressing problem. This is a time where, you see, how to handle this situation. Even though you're trained in mindful japa. For this, I propose that you have to put again same austerity for at least 10 to 20 beats, or even at least, let's say, one mala. You go according exactly the same way you did during the training. What is that? Use the diamond codes to fix the mind again and again as it goes. That means your one mala at least in the beginning, there will be more number of times it will go. Why it will go? Because of where it will go? To the problem. It's not some general thinking. You're not doing some luxurious thinking. There's a pressing problem. So it goes away. But if you apply the diamond codes, you will see by the end of the mala, you can anchor your attention in spite of your problem. Once it is anchored, what happens? Energy is coming. Especially if you do. See, this is where tasking is very, very important. When you don't have a pressing problem and all those things, gunakala karma forces divert away from japa. That time, even without tasking, you are able to do. Just like you sit in this training program, you are able to chant. Nicely I did Prabhu mindful chanting. Okay, I'll give you a problem day. You cannot do it in this way. That is why you need the support of tasking. If you task enthusiastically, take tasking pleasure, then you can keep away all these thoughts. Even problem solving, you can keep away for 2 hours. But, as I said, one round you have to do like a bhakta, like a new. You have to tell him, if required, put Prabhupada's tape again. And then you chant one round like a child. Then you get locked up, your attention gets locked up. But the power of tasking pleasure, second round, third round, fourth round, fifth round, 16th round, your financial problem will not come and disturb you, because you also know that it's not that the house is on fire, I have to do something immediately. I can think of it after 2 hours. Now let me give my time to the Lord. Plan making. See, plan making is not, it's really optional. Whenever you want, later on you can do the planning. No, my day planning, what I should do today, this thing, that thing. Today at 11 o'clock I have to go to bank, then 12 o'clock I have to go here, then I have to meet this person, I have to do that. All that, if you start, naturally when you wake up also you will think, today what all I should do. You will think, right? So in that thinking mood you are doing something and all, then you take your japa mala. That train of thought is there. Please understand. Again, diamond code, it is called anchoring tapasya. Every time you do your japa, to stop the currently running train of thoughts, you have to apply conscious effort to fix the chesta on the nama every time it goes away. May not go away also. Plan making and all I can do afterwards. But when there is something urgent, then mind goes away. Another good question you can ask. Sometimes things are very exciting. Oh, I have to do something, it's very exciting now. Let me keep the beat back down. You should ask the question. Exciting is different, urgent is different. Is it urgent? If I don't do now, will I lose an opportunity for Krishna? Then I will keep the beat back and I will do. Just because it's exciting for me, I am not going to keep my beat back now. I will finish my Nama Seva, direct service to the Nama. Even it is service of the Lord, preaching service also. No, let me do now the Nama. So plan making is another very common mistake people do. Yes, all this happens in the first round. Because train of thought is running. Without breaking it, without putting a break to it. That is why I said, whenever you sit for japa, whether it is you should decide whether in this sitting I am going to do 1 round or 4 rounds or 16 rounds. That's called sadhya. Once you have the sadhya, you have the intention now. to build up tasking intention to come up to 16 rounds or 4 rounds or whatever it is. The tasking intention will push away the other thinking intentions. Without any intention, simply you take the Japamala and you start. Then that train of thought is running. You have to stop that. Load your tasking intention, number 1. Number 2, be ready with the diamond commands of Srila Prabhupada for next 1 round. Don't try to, taste the, ecstasy, all these things of Nama Japa. Nothing. Now, first is, I have to get into the fire. There is a resistance to get into the fire. The thoughts are not allowing me to get into the fire. So I have to run away from the thoughts and get into the fire. I have to jump into the fire. Jumping into the fire is called anchoring tapasya. I have given that. That means even if you are very nicely you are able to practice mindful japa, when you begin japa, you need an anchoring tapasya or austerity where you have to consciously put effort to keep your chesta on one mala. Why is thinking a problem during japa? Because as I explained, it takes away our chesta and disconnects us from the Nama Prabhu. Thinking is doing come knowing of thoughts. Japa is doing come knowing of sound. If your doing and knowing is engaged in thoughts, your doing and knowing cannot be engaged simultaneously in the sound incarnation. Finish. Very simple. To be very clear. So there are different kinds of thinking that we do, but the common factor of that happens, common phenomena that happens when we think, let me explain to you. Let's say I have a problem. Problem means all problems are problems of feeling. In other words, a desire is a feeling. I have a desire to solve a problem because that problem means creating discomfort. So it's a feeling. So at the mind level, it is a desire. At the intellectual level, the intelligence takes up that problem. The intelligence tries to figure out what is the way to solve the problem. How does the intelligence figure out how to say it? Intelligent thinking. That means it will have a chat. One intelligence slice will chat with another intelligence slice. Discussion will go on. Finally, some conclusion will come. Okay, this may be solved. Problem will be solved. How it will be solved and all that. So when you're convinced it will be solved like that, immediately you pass it on to the mind. Mind is a feeling mind. Mind will start discussing. No, I don't feel comfortable with this. It doesn't fully solve the problem. There is a chat between the mind and the intelligence. The thinking mind and the feeling mind is chatting. The feeling mind passes on the problem. Thinking mind again thinks and then comes back and says, this is the best. Everything else is more. Your feeling will be, at least this solution which I gave you is a feel-good solution. All other solutions are worse than this. There will be always feel-bad solution. Because mind is a feeling mind. Okay, so I'll accept it. Then the mind executes, directs the senses. So every thinking is a, conversation going on between intelligence slice as an intelligence slice, between one mind slice and another mind slice, and between the intelligence and the mind also. It's just like if two people are sitting together and talking. I talk to myself also, you talk to yourself also, and we both talk to each other also. This is exactly what is happening between the mind and the intelligence the two personalities in the mind with multiple slices. This chatting is called thinking. So that is why it is called, it's a doing. There's a give and take, and you cannot, if you are involved in a conversation, you cannot hear two conversations. I am talking to you, somebody else is saying he wants another conversation with me. I cannot have it, I have to stop it, is it not? Because it's a doing and knowing of one conversation. I have to stop it. Exactly in the same way only, all the different kinds of thinking is simply chatting. Internal chatting is thinking. It's like a noise which prevents us from hearing the Nama clearly. Drink. Nama after Nama, you drink. Like a sweet drink, sip after sip after sip. As simple as that. Now, whatever instruction I told, just like a child you follow, sip, no. One after the other sip, you don't think too much. Don't analyze now how to sip. What is there? I say sip. Sip means the attitude of taking something inside sweet. So when you hear, feel that inside. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You should say, you are creating a drink and you are drinking it. You are creating a drink and you are drinking it. So wonderful. In the material world, we can never do anything like this. Right? Just by your wish, you create a sweet drink and then you drink. And here, this is Krishna consciousness. This is in Nama Avatara is making us do that. And not that you don't feel. If you really do take that drink in like that, you will feel the energy and you will feel the sweetness, in the sense you will want to do more and more. Doing sweetness you will see. The sweetness of the chesta you will feel. Even a neophyte can feel. And that is what the gardener also could do it, sustain. So while talking a lot about how thinking is, I should stop thinking during Japa, you should not mistake it, that statement, that thinking is an enemy, but static thoughts are not enemies. Thought feelings are not enemies. For instance, during our Japa practice, there is a command from Prabhupada. Chant and exactly the same sound you hear. Now, during Japa, that thought is being heard as a command. Do something, follow something. So that thought is meant as a command and not meant for thinking. Suppose Prabhupada said, when Prabhupada says, chant and hear exactly the same sound, and exactly the same sound you hear, when he says that, you just follow. You don't think about it. Oh, what did Prabhupada say? He did not say anything complicated. He made an executing statement. Do this. He didn't say think. He said do this. So simply do that. So if the thoughts are there in the mind, static thoughts are not different, are different from thinking. Because many people, when we talk so much stressing, no, during Japa you should not think. You should not think that there are no thoughts. Thinking means thought processing. Just like Japa, bead after bead you are doing, your thoughts are processed, movement of thoughts is called thinking. Thought processing. So you should not indulge in thought processing, but thoughts will be there, fixed thoughts will be there, especially afterwards when you train yourself. In the background, there will be thoughts, there will be thought feelings. Krishna is Supreme Personality of God, and God is on my tongue. Krishna is on my tongue. No thinking. Krishna is on my tongue. Thought. And a feeling. Oh, Krishna, God, He is on my tongue. Thought, feeling. So thought, feelings and thoughts. Some people had difficulty during training period also. Just like some people have difficulty in tasking. They are saying my time is going in. No, don't think about the task. Tasking is an instruction. Give an impulse. That's all. You don't think about, you don't need to think. If somebody tells you, that is the reason why in the Japa practice also, I have very clearly, I have in the module 38, in the instruction I have mentioned that you should hear 3 times these golden quotes like an obedient child. What is the qualification of a child? He does not think. Do that, he will just do that and come. So unless we become like a child to follow the background commands of Prabhupada in the Prabhupada Japa, we will not be able to practice. Afterwards also what happens? Because if you are thinking, okay, how to chant and hear exactly the same sound, how to? What is there how to? Sound is before you. You chant and hear that sound. That's all. No thinking is involved in it. Anywhere, if you have difficulty in following that golden quotes and mindful japa, please understand the problem is you are thinking somewhere. Not anything else, even about this. I told you so many times, thinking about hearing is not hearing. Thinking about following the golden quotes is not following the golden quotes. Trying to understand the golden quotes is not same as following the golden quotes. You follow. Okay. So, therefore, don't misunderstand. We should be very clear what is our understanding in Japa about thoughts. Krishna conscious thoughts. He is always in the background. His savior is in the background or not? Krishna is the savior, receiver of this service is in the background or not? It's a thought. A common thought. In the beginning itself I told you this thought should be there. Thought is different. How Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God and you start thinking during Japa. Then you are not hearing. Krishna said, I have come in the form of my sound. Through this sound, one day I will bring all my thoughts to you. Now you don't actively do. If you have heard some pure devotee, I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead, you load it in your background mind. That comes very good. But whether that comes or not one day, if you really hear me, my identity is there in that sound. You can feel that identity. You will realize that identity. So don't do any thinking is very useful. Other times than Japa, read and find, think, contemplate how is Krishna Bhagavan. Shad Aishwarya Purna, he is all six opulences to his fullness. All this you think during that time. So what you can do, one time you cannot do the other time. Please understand that during Japa only we are telling don't engage in thinking. Most important thing is to hear and take Krishna inside. Drink. Nama after nama you drink. Like a sweet drink. Sip after sip after sip. As simple as that. Now whatever instruction I told, just like a child you follow. Sip, no. One after the other sip. You don't think too much. Don't analyze now how to sip. What is there I say? Sip. Sip means the attitude of taking something inside sweet. So when you hear, feel that inside. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. You should say, you are creating a drink and you are drinking it. You are creating a drink and you are drinking it. So wonderful. In the material world, we can never do anything like this. Right? Just by your wish, you create a sweet drink and then you drink. And here, this is Krishna consciousness. This is in Nama Avatara is making us do that. And not that you don't feel. If you really do take that drink in like that, you will feel the energy and you will feel the sweetness, in the sense you will want to do more and more. Doing sweetness you will see. The sweetness of the chesta you will feel. Even a neophyte can feel. And that is what the gardener also could do it, sustain. So, thinking is movement of thoughts. It is different from static thoughts that may be there during the japa, which will be there in the background. Okay? And they are all automatic thoughts also. Not foreground mind won't be there. I am not saying thoughts in the foreground mind. Then you are doing off japa, contemplation. Japa time, foreground mind has to do only chanting and hearing. Background, because you have read so much about Prabhupada, so much about japa, heard so many sessions about japa, there will be a background thought that I am serving Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Perfect. Because we should not mistake, I heard that there should not be thinking, now I am thinking. You are not thinking, the background mind is thinking because of your foreground mind is not thinking because of whatever you have fed in. Kripa apeksha. Why it is a powerful motivator? I began saying that it's a powerful motivator because there is something in it for me. Our nature is like that. But nothing wrong in that feeling, because that is your original selfishness is, all jivas have original selfishness. Original selfishness means is survival. I need seva. I need sat, chitta, and ananda. I need. Without that need, I cannot, I will be lost. If you don't give me chitta, I will be lost in this material world thinking I am this body. If you don't give ananda, if you don't fill my heart with ananda, my heart will go and, in the hungry soul will go and eat some sense pleasures and material pleasures. So-called material love, so-called love of this material world, it will go and try to embrace. Therefore, nothing wrong in kripa apeksha. And then I tell you, it's a relationship with the Lord. Remember that principle, kripa apeksha, works on the principle of ye etamam prapadyante tam satya bhajami. As you surrender, I reciprocate. How genuinely you do the apeksha, you will be filled with that. Lord never lets his devotees down. And that kripa apeksha and the reciprocation of the Lord becomes a big factor of deepening our relationship with Nama Prabhu. Again I said japa is a relationship with Nama Prabhu. It will deepen our relationship. Chanting really and exactly is the same as a conversation between two persons. And doubtful because I don't think that we are giving as much chesta we are giving in chanting in a conversation. Now, it is not a conversation, has so much varieties. We are not, unless you know a person and become close to him for a long time, we should not imagine it is like a car. It's a relationship. It's a relationship of, you may be only talking one thing in a day. Please give me mercy. So it's not that you have a dialogue with the holy name. Conversation between two persons. It's not like that. Because, I have no qualification to have a dialogue with him. He's there. I can feel and I can beg, I can thank. These are the conversations from our side, my side I can do. And from his side, it is all, he will infuse what he wants. He will infuse his intelligence into me and give me realizations. Not by talking to me directly. So it's not like a conversation. Okay? To some degree, yes, small conversation. It's a conversation of feelings, bhavana. exchange of bhavana.